No hands, no feet, and the car is going. Look at that! How brilliant! How brilliant is this? The car is turning to the left now together with the road. This is a 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe, and the first thing I'm gonna do with it is I'm gonna put it in sport mode and check what it's like on these B roads. And then after that, we'll go through some of its features and give it a little bit of a review and see what it's like, see what this car has. All right, let's launch it. 3, 2, 1, and go. Whoa! For such a big car to do this is phenomenal. This is a hybrid. That's it, 60. Wow. It's in sport mode, so it stiffens up the suspensions. It hardens up the steering a little bit. This street is a 60 mile an hour speed limit, so I can throw it around as long as it's safe to do so and see what it's like as a sporty utility vehicle, an SUV. I know most of the time as a 7-seater it'll be full packed with a family, going on doing making interesting memories, but it's also good to see what it's like on the B roads, on the back roads, see if it's got a punch to it and just see how it feels. And I can tell you that, oh, it turns nicely in the bends, it speeds off, you put your foot down and off it goes. Wow, this is some SUV sport utility vehicle. This is, you put it in sport mode and it bloody well moves. Feels a little bit firmer in the bends, but it's great all around. I actually am very impressed with what this car can do in the bends. Obviously I've driven it for a little bit, for a couple of hours already, so I've learned a few things about this car, and it must be one of the best large SUVs out there. Okay, the speed's just gone down to 30, so we'll put it back into eco mode and let's see what it's like. And even when you drive it subtly, when it's on the eco mode, it feels very you don't feel like you're sitting in such a large car. Does that make sense? It's a huge car, this one. It's absolutely huge, but it doesn't feel it, even on these small, narrow, winding roads on the outskirts of London in Aylesbury. You can definitely go on some family trips with this car, not only for the everyday, but as a long distance journey car. The seats are very comfortable, they're soft, they're plush, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull over and we're going to go through some of its interesting features. Let's go down here. I think this is a nice quiet street, and let me show you some of the features that this car has. Some of my favorite things, which I haven't seen all of these things all together on one car. And let's start with the dashboard, and you have something called, where is it, driver only. Now when you press this button, you know what happens? Let me first put it back into park. Driver only, so it switches off all the AC from all around and it just points it, keeps the driver's one on. I'm not sure the purpose of this is. Maybe it's to save on fuel, save on electricity, but it's an interesting feature. Another feature I like is the wireless charging, which is down here. You see, this looks like just a regular storage area, but it isn't. You can take your phone and slide it in there, and okay, normally it's okay. Let's try this the other way. Let's try it the other way. 1 second. Let's take your phone, slide it into the slot, and there we go, it's charging. That one there, you see it? Yeah, it's just an interesting feature. So let's start with the infotainment system. This is a touchscreen infotainment system. You can navigate everything from the screen itself, or you've also got some physical shortcut buttons down here where you can go to your map, you can go to your radio, your setup, and everything else. It's a very simple to use, very old school, and I say old school because look how many buttons there are. I think there's about 40 in total, and me personally, I like physical buttons. I hate it when cars don't have any buttons. You got to control everything from the infotainment system, including things like the Tesla, where you got to control to open your glove box from the infotainment system. What were they thinking? Anyway, back to this car. You got a physical volume button. You can change the channels on the right, and then you have physical buttons for the climate control. You have dual zone climate control on this one, so you can have one temperature on one side, another temperature on the other side, or you can sync them and have the same temperature on both. Moving further down, there is no gear stick. There's buttons: reverse, neutral, drive, or park. The auto hold is a great feature. That means that when you stop at a red light and you take your foot off the brake, the car will stay there. It will not roll, it will not go forward or backwards. It's as if the handbrake is on. You've then got this rotary dial that gives you all different kinds of driving modes. From sport, smart will figure out the best kind of driving mode to use at the time of your driving. You could put it in snow, in mud, in sand. You got all sorts of things. It's absolutely great. You press it in, it goes to terrain, and you can choose your snow, mud, or sand, or drive, and it has the other ones on the left. You got that right. This particular model has a heated steering wheel, and it's got camera, reverse camera. That doesn't have on this one the all surround camera, and that's your beeping things. What do you call it? Right, this model has heated seats, and then when you go further back, you have this cover here. Interesting finish. You open it up, you have a cup holder, which is alright, decent size. It's a little bit loose, a USB, and that button, that light over there, is to show you, or to say that your phone is charging. See, I just took out my phone. When I put my phone back in, that light will go back on, and there it is. Then you got another cup holder. See, this is better because it's got these kind of support things that your bottles don't move around. Then you go further back and you have a very, very large armrest storage. It goes very deep down. Lovely, isn't it? Talking about storage, got a bit of storage over here. You have a nice big glove box. You got door bins, and then you have something else which I need to get out of the car to show you, as this is a point of view. Okay, let me just show you here the door bins. They're not really for bottles, they're more for other storage kinds of storage, but what I want to show you is that. Now, how cool is that? You got like this floating area with a 12-volt socket, another USB socket. Interesting, isn't it? Like that. Seats are extremely comfortable, very supportive, electronically adjustable, and you've also got lumbar support. Whilst we're out here, let's just do a quick walk around and check out the features on the exterior of this model. Very interesting. The lights, you either love them or hate them. Look how narrow they are. They're absolutely tiny. Got a nice big grille. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful car. Beautiful. But it's huge. Look how big it is. It's got 7 seats. Let's check out the seating arrangements. This is the middle row. Now, the middle row, very interestingly, you can move them forward by pressing that button to get into the back, or you can use this lever. And another thing you can do is you can actually push the seats forward and backwards. Now, you know when you have the passenger seat so far back, so a lovely feature that this car has, and I can tell you that this passenger seat is sitting extremely far back, is you've got these buttons on the side that you can just move the passenger seat forward. It's brilliant. And then you got loads of legroom. Wow, it's very, very spacious back here. Very spacious. Leather seats. You got an armrest that comes down with 2 cup holders inside. There's 2 USB sockets, storage behind the seats, tether points for the car seats. You got a light back here. There is so much room. Yeah, it's beautiful. Door bins, electric windows. This model has electric rear, it's got heated rear seats. Let's go check out the boot, and I want to show you how big this car is. It's electronically operated. Press the button underneath. Now you think this is big, right? But you know what you can do? You can put those seats down and make them even bigger. And the way you put the seats down from here are these buttons. You see, left, this is the right one. And look at the amount of storage. Now the amount of storage you have is this amount, and I'm going to put it here so that you can take a screenshot and save it and read it all later. But you want to see something really cool, you pick up this little rug here, and you have another row of seats that's extremely easy to operate. Look at it. Beautiful. Isn't that great? Got some tethering points. To put it down is also very easy. Just pull this little piece of whatever you want to call it, and down they go. Cup holders in the back for the back passengers. You have a 12-volt socket. Oh, this is really, really great and practical. It's fantastic. If you're liking this video so far, please feel free to give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I post these videos every other day, and on that bombshell I'm getting back in the car because it's starting to rain. Another thing I like about it is when you get in it and you turn on the engine, listen to what happens. You ready? It's like saying welcome back in here. Let me just show you the steering wheel a little bit. It's very easy to get comfortable. It's got reach and rake. You can move it up, down, sideways, in and out. Right, on the left hand side of the steering wheel you have your volume button and you have your phone controls. On the right hand side you have your cruise control mode, your lane assist, your radar, cruise control, and we're going to check that in a minute on the motorway. I'll show you how great it is. What a fantastic option it is. This is a hybrid. It's not the plug-in hybrid. You can also change through the menu on that screen by pressing this button here. So you go down, you got drive information. Since refueling, I've been doing 33.5 miles per gallon, which is not great, but on such a big car it's not too bad, to be fair. Yeah, it's got other options. This button here on the right hand side, you can go, it's when you set your cruise control, you can set your cruise control from here, what kind of speed you want to do. The quality on the car is overall very good. It's got squidgy materials everywhere. It feels solidly built. It's comfortable to touch wherever your elbows go. It's just really, really nice. You got electric windows, electric foldable door mirrors. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful car. Here are another couple of things that I really like about this car. You know the vanity mirrors? So a lot of them, when you open them up, they have a light. This one has an option to turn on the light. So if it's daylight, you might not want to have the light on. It gives you the option. So you press that and the light goes on. However, when you finish and you might have forgotten to switch off the light, don't worry, because it does it for you. It actually switches it off when it touches it. Nice touch. Another thing I really like is, you see my phone is currently in the wireless charger. If I want to get out of the car now, I turn off the engine and I forget to take my phone out. Okay, so it's telling me to check the rear seats because I haven't put the seats back up yet. But another thing it does is, device and wireless charger actually lets me know that I've forgotten to take out my telephone. How brilliant. I like that. Another safety feature this car has is that when you get in and you want to drive off, right now I've got a car in front of me, so if I want to reverse right now, my seat belt is not currently on. So if I put it into reverse, foot on the brake, reverse, camera comes up. Now watch what happens because my seat belt's not on. It's actually not letting me go back. Can you see the whole car move? However, to release, close the doors, the hood and the tailgate, and fasten the seat belt. So let's see what happens if I put my seat belt on. Right, now my seat belt is on. Let me wait for this van to get out of the way. And let's see if it's going to reverse now. There it goes. I like that. It's a nice safety feature. Right, I'm now coming onto the M1 motorway. I'm at junction 5 at Watford. I'm heading towards London. And we want to see what it's like, but it started raining, as you can see. So the roads are very wet. And we also want to check out the radar cruise control with a steering assist and see how good it is. You ready? Right, let's first set the radar cruise control. So you do it by pressing this button on the steering wheel. Give me a second, why is it not working? Right, you got to press the mode button, my apologies. You press the mode button, set the speed by this button on the right. You see I'm currently setting it to, oops, 1 second. We're going to set it to 70 miles an hour. Now it's not going 70 because it's using radar right now. It's latched onto the car in front of me, which is only going 54 miles an hour. However, if I go into the right lane, it's currently speeding up. Now we've got the Skoda in front of me, so it's going to keep the distance between me and the Skoda. That's currently going at 62 or 63, but it's got a max speed of 70 miles an hour. Now, let's see how well the steering assist works. I'm going to try it in a second. Let's get it in front of this BMW and go into the left lane, because I think that would be the least dangerous lanes to try it in. Right, so now the car's speeding up to 70 because there's nothing in front of me, and I'm going to let go of the steering as soon as we start going in a straight line, which is coming up over here. Right, and we're off. No hands, no feet, and the car is going. Look at that! How brilliant! How brilliant is this? The car is turning to the left now together with the road. This technology is genius on cars. It's unbelievable. It's I'm speechless. I have no words. I'm literally not doing anything. I'm not using my feet. I'm not using my hands. Okay, so now it's telling me to keep hands on the steering wheel. Now let's see what happens if I don't. Still beeping, beeping. I'm not exactly sure how long this goes on for. I think what I'll do is I'll do a separate test on how long we can do this for. But so far it's doing extremely well. LF lane following assist cancelled. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm still got no hands on. Wow, look at that. No feet, no hands. What's it been? It's been a minute so far. Still keeping me in lane, still keeping me in lane, still keeping me a safe distance from the car in front of me. Oh, it might get confused now because there's two lanes going into one. Where's it gonna go? Okay, I think it's safe to say that this car... Oh, it just shoved over to the left. It's safe to say that this car has definitely passed the test on the lane assist and the radar cruise control. Right, let's move over into the right lane, and as you can see, the car's speeding up. It's brilliant. No feet, no nothing. Going up to 60. Remember, we have a limit of 70, which is a speed limit on the UK highways. There we go, 68, 69. Very, very good. And you know what I want to say as well about this car? It's very smooth. Very quiet, very comfortable. It's doing a great job on the highway. This is a huge car with 7 seats, and it drives with such ease and such, it just feels natural. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't feel, look, you see, I just took my hands off the wheel and it just kept it in lane because the road is, oh, better get my hands back on the wheel. It's yeah, always keep your hands on the wheel. But as I was saying, it's extremely easy to drive. It's very, very comfortable. Somebody that can do up to 1,000 miles a week on the highway, I would feel very comfortable in this. There's lumbar support for your lower back. Another thing I noticed before when I was driving in the city is that if you're sitting in traffic or by a red light, and the car in front of you moves off and you're not looking, you're not aware, a little note will pop up on the screen in front of you to say the car in front of you has moved off, and it will beep so that you see it and you hear it, so that you should move off. I like that. I like that because, you know, sometimes when you have a busy family you can get distracted and you might turn your head to the back and you won't realize that traffic in the front has moved on, the whole world has moved on. They're not thinking about the crying kids in the back, and they are just getting on with life, and it just reminds you, brings you back down to earth that, hey mate, or woman, or it, or whatever it is you identify as, you're sitting in traffic, the car in front of you has moved on, move the F on. Brilliant. What a nice feature. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, and tell me in the comments what you think. Thank you very much and have a good day.